What's up, tricksters and tricksetters, and welcome to another live VOD review presented by your favorite rating coach, CHARLATAN Papito. Today, at our coaching table, we have a Platinum Jett on Sunset, our friend called Shocked Me. We already reviewed the gameplay of this guy like a few months ago. I think it was like 1 month or something like that. He already got a training. He already got some kind of aim training routine as well. So we are expecting to see some improvements. Hopefully he continued playing the game and actually, you know, he followed all of the advices. But as far as I remember, I reviewed him on Gecko? Or am I missing something? Just a second. No, it was... he was Gold 2. Okay. So he went from Gold 2 to Platinum 1. I mean, it's not that bad, but come on, man. You can do much better. Just two fucking ranks. Like, come on. But also, as far as I remember, he is a new player in Valorant as well. Now, let's see what he has to say. Jett icon. Respect. I'm taking... tracker second. So main account, second account, which is the one I'm using in the VOD in case you need it. Okay. I'm taking a break from playing comp until you VOD review me to prevent a burnout. Smart thing. Smart thing. Generally, like, playing Valorant in Act 1 of every episode is not really the best idea, because the MMR is completely effed up. The players are mentally dented, and essentially, like, you never know with who you're gonna end up in a queue. Like, even as a gold and platinum player, you might end up against X, like Immortals, Diamonds, Ascendants, like, usually, you know, I recommend to players to kinda, you know, focus mainly on self-improvement in the Act 1 of every episode, and the real grind actually begins in Act 2 and Act 3. And also, like, I mean, you're still playing a video game. You should enjoy your grind. Like, I mean, if you're not enjoying it, what's the point? Like, literally. No. Hello! So this is my second VOD review, and here is what I have to say. Last VOD review, you clearly told me how shit everything on my tracker was, and how shit my gameplay also was. The main problems you mentioned were attacker side, weapon variety, and when to use them. Pushing too far into the map for no reason, bomb site executes, and the worst one was game awareness and minimap awareness. Like, you know, if I stated this many problems, you probably fixed 2 out of these problems up until now. Maximum. Like, all of these problems that are here, they need, like, at least, like, 3 to 6 months of consistent, like, you know, training, working on these issues, like developing yourself as a player. Like, God knows what's happening for you right now. Since this first VOD review, I followed your advice to grind on 2 accounts. Finally. This greatly helped my mental, as it should. And I managed to reach Platinum 1 on my secondary account. Voila. Also, I practiced on a few maps, some entries in a custom game, and watched almost all the playbooks for the current map rotation. Listen, guys, when you're watching my playbook, ranked playbook on the Discord server, like always, but literally always, take the notes for yourself. Like, you want to build a textual document. Textual playbook for yourself, so you remember the stuff. Don't just watch it and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember that. When you were in high school, every single time when you said, I'm just gonna remember this, you never fucking did. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Whenever you didn't write down something, you forgot that shit in life. So, you know, your RAM memory is not that good, especially not for Valorant, like, where there's millions of executes, retakes, setups, etc, etc. Okay, I still struggle a lot with my minimap usage and awareness, but I will keep working on it. I mean, like, if you're still struggling with minimap usage and awareness, like, I would just recommend you to continue using the original training that I've shared with you. Because that training that I've shared with you is generally, like, top 3 trainings for improving map awareness and minimap usage, essentially. Also, on my forum, as the coach right here, like, there's a lot of questions which I've answered on how to improve the minimap awareness. So you can take a look. You know, here I have written, like, millions of you know, textual documents and explanations like when to take a look at the minimap, when not to look at the minimap, blah, 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 blah. Let me just find it for you, like, haha, no leaks for the premium content, man. Premium content, just a second. Minimap. Aha, here it is, like 3 posts. Just a second to send him this. Uno momentos. Okay. Just so that I don't forget, like... Here. Okay. Now, here is what I plan to do this summer when I get more free time. Rewatch every Jett playbook multiple times and take some written notes. Good idea. Practice more entries and more positions in custom games. Good idea. Get gooder. Good idea. Something that I could recommend, something that you could recommend me to do. I mean, like, you know, if the training that I've recommended you 1 month ago is working for you, you know, you feel improvements in terms of your mechanical skill, you think that that training is still beneficial for you, I would just keep doing that shit until it stops working, you know, like, in a month we went from, like, Gold 2 to Platinum 1, you were kind of stuck in that Gold Elo for, like, 4 or 5 months. That's good. I mean, not bad, like, you know, some people are, you know, are stuck in the same rank for, like, 4 years, essentially. So, you know, keep doing that and follow the plan that you created for yourself. We'll see in the VOD review as well. Here is what I'm looking to get from this VOD review. First of all, I want your opinion on my new tracker stats and on what I should keep improving, since that really helped me last time. Okay, we'll take a look at your tracker. Secondly, I want your opinion on my overall gameplay during the attacker side of this VOD, since it is on the same map than last time, and that it contains the entire first half of 12 rounds, with my team on attack. So our main focus is attack. Okay. My last request would be to get some tips on how to play better when you're playing with a bad team. I feel like I have played a better team game, but I don't really know how I should have done that. Okay. Thanks again for all the help, and I hope this is all the info that you need. Game starts at 0. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, let's take a look at the tracker. So this is the original tracker. My dude was started playing the game in episode 8, Act 1. In March and April, he got Gold 2, got stuck there a bit. In May, he was stuck in Gold, and then, like, in June, he finally got Platinum, but on his second account. And then he kind of fucked up, like, I don't know what happened with the win rate here. I would highly recommend you, like, you know, if you have, like, more than... like, if you have, like, around, let's say, 60 to 120 hours... Actually, if you have... yeah. If you have around 60 or 120 hours to play Valorant during an act, grind on 2 accounts simultaneously. It fixes a lot of different problems. I've mentioned this in the previous VOD reviews, like, we covered this so many times, like, from mentality to EOMM in Valorant, like, you're not gonna meet the same teammates. Just do that. Like, like, you know, there's a reason why high elo players have, like, 2, 3, 5, 10 accounts, and they're not smurfing on them, obviously. Now, fine. You know, we went from Gold 2 to, like, Platinum 1 in a month. Could have been better, of course, but you kind of stopped playing Valorant. Like, I mean, we did VOD review at the end of May, at the start of June, and you just played, like, 15 hours, 20 hours, you know? Like, may I ask, like, you know, what the fuck is going on? Why are we not playing the game? But okay, you said you took a break and you want a hard grind in this act. Very good. In episode 9, act 1, he has, like, 12 KD. Future Radiant player. He played one match. Okay. So this is your tracker from the second account. So you were on a winning streak, and then, like, we kind of fumbled down. Okay. That's why you always make a secondary account. No problem. Okay, let's just take a look at the second... On the first account. Yeah, the stats are quite similar, to be honest. The stats are quite similar. Okay, we'll just take a look at the first account, your main. So, ADR, absolutely good. Like, actually, all of these stats here are stats that are worthy of a player that wants to become diamond. Essentially, if you have these type of stats in gold and platinum 1, like, you should be able to easily carry your games and, you know, contest the diamond players, essentially. Like, the only statistic that I don't like, obviously, is KST. 73% is optimal, but you're really aiming for that 75. But all of this is fine, like, your headshot percentage and mechanical skill can probably get a bit better. You know, 28% and 90% overall headshot is optimal. It's okay, but in a gold elo, like, I mean, you can obviously have much higher headshot percentage. And it's good. It's good, like, I mean, during this act, if you played, like, I don't know, if you played, like, let's say 200 matches, you would have easily been like Diamond 1 minimum, essentially. Like, I don't know why you took a break. Like, I mean, the grind was looking good, to be honest, like, at least in terms of the stats, like, good KD, solid stats, like, you improved quite a lot from, like, the first VOD review we did, brother. My eyes were burning, falling apart. Let me see the act, episode 8, act 2. Look at this. This is a tracker of a mentally dented person. I'm just kidding, of course. But below 1 KD, not good at all. KST of 69%. My brother, you know. Team play, 0. Team play, 0. Refrag potential, 0. And now, like, it looks much better. It looks much better. Like, if you played as many games as you played here, you know, if you played as many games in Act 3 that you played in Act 2, like, you would win, you would be Diamond 1, 100%. 100%. Now, let's see here, like, let's start with the clutch percentage. I mean, clutch percentage is still pretty low. Like, 1.6% is mega low, to be honest. Like, you know, overall clutch percentage should always be between 4% and 6%. Like, you should be able to win 50 to 60% of your 1 versus 1 and 1 versus 2 gunfights and rounds. The amount of last deaths, optimal, but, you know, like, in low elo, you know, from Iron 1 to Diamond 3, you really need to value your life a lot more. Like, basically, in a match, in every single match that you play, there should be at least 3, 4, or 5 rounds where you stay last alive. Now, that doesn't mean that you should beat the shit out of your teammates. That simply means that you can play smarter in a way where you don't need to be the first one that picks a fight. Even if you're playing someone like Jett or Omen, or Raze, or Yoru, you can pick smart fights, fights that work in your favor. You can execute fights in a safe way, where you can fight together with your teammates and not fucking alone. So think about it. Now, suicide 0, very nice. Now let's see attack. Attack got a bit better. 50% win rate, 1 KD, 73% KST, much better. Much better. And the defense was actually shit for you this act. Like, on defense, you had like 47% round win percentage. Like, that's bad. Like, in Valorant, most of your games, you win or lose on a defender's side. Like, how you play defense depends how the, you know, what type of win rate you're gonna have in Valorant. Like, why on defense? Because on defense, you actually control the outcome of your matches. How so, Charlatan? Because you're always able to counter the enemies. Like, you're the one in control of the rounds. You can always predict the enemy's next move. especially in low elo, like in this gold, platinum, diamond elo, like players are more predictable than I don't know, man. Like, you know, they're just so easy to read. Like having a 47% win round percentage on defense in this elo, not good, man. Like, you need to try to get better at reading the enemies. Pay attention on the patterns of pushing. Pay attention on what your teammates are doing. Try to support them a bit better on the defender side. Like, last time, attack was the problem. Now, like, you focus so much on attack that your defense is the problem. But, to be fair, on defense, you have, like, 1.2 KD. So, either, like, this type of stats, you know, what they tell me? They tell me that you're not controlling the outcome of your rounds enough on a defender's side. Like, you're not positioning yourself well enough to counter the enemies. So, your reading of the game is the problem. Now, thankfully, CHARLATAN has a solution for that. Like, basically, I have a lot of these exclusive coaching videos and pre-recorded coaching content where I explain some topics. I have like 50 folders of just pure coaching content and around 100 like routines, trainings, and shit like that. So what I'm gonna share with you, I'm gonna share with you a specific folder where two folders where I explain like how to read the game, how to read the enemies, how to play better with bad teammates, and how to position yourself a bit better in different scenarios. And just that coaching content is gonna help you enormously on a defender's side. Other than that, like, okay, fine. I mean, with Chamber, you play fucking good, bro. Like, brother, your stats with Chamber are so much better than Jett. I don't know what to say, man. Let me check the second tracker, like. I don't know what I said last time, but if Chamber suits you so well, I mean, just keep abusing the Chamber. Yeah, I mean, win rate on this account is kind of bad, but okay, it depends. Depends on what type of games you get. Like, he got much better on Jett. Sorry. Like, these are more recent games. Like, yeah, you should be playing both Jett and Chamber equally, like, depending on the map and how you feel that day. Like, you can still follow the original, like, original stuff that I've nothing. I don't remember what I recommended you. Boomer Coomer, thank you a lot for the Prime Gaming Summon, and thank you for scamming Jeff Bezos. Listen, still like, still commit to playing Jett. Keep playing Jett. Keep maining Jett and keep maining Chamber equally. Like, depending how you feel that day. I think both agents suits you okay, and over time you'll just become much better. And fuck the Sage, bro. You know, fuck the Sage. Quite literally. Okay. Maps. Icebox. Chamber. Yeah, I mean, in this elo you can easily abuse the Chamber to have higher win rates. Split Jett, Sunset Jett. Haven is good. Breeze. Bind. Lotus. Ascent. I mean, on Lotus and Ascent, even though you have a negative win rate, your performance is really nice. So maybe you just had some unlucky games with some teammates that are mentally dented, you know? Like, and also, I don't know, on Ascent, you're playing Chamber, like, on Ascent, Jett is like 10 times better. And on Lotus as well. I mean, Chamber on Lotus is fine, but if you're just maining Jett, like, just play Jett on Lotus. Like, Jett should be your number one pick, and Chamber like some kind of a secondary fill-in. You know, if you really need to fill. What I would also recommend you is, because you're only maining these two agents, touch the Omen a bit. You know? Like, I really think that besides playing Jett and Chamber only, like, you should add 2 more picks. And currently, I think the ultimate agents that players need to main right now in Valorant if you want to improve a bit faster. Jett, Gecko, Omen, and Cypher or Chamber. Like, essentially, you master Jett, Gecko, Omen, Cypher or Chamber. You have everything. You have an Initiator to fill. You have Duelist to fill. You have Controller to fill. You have a Sentinel to fill. Essentially, like, I would also recommend you, you know, keep playing Jett. Maybe try playing Gecko and Omen in the games where you need to fill, and where you cannot pick the Chamber, for an example. Especially Gecko. Gecko is such a free elo agent sometimes, like, in those lobbies, like gold, silver, platinum, diamond, like, it's literally, you have so much utility to actually counter the enemies and to engage them in a smart way. So, like, sure, you know, keep doing what you're doing. And the final recommendation I would give you is just try maybe Gecko and Omen a bit more, like, give them a proper try. You know, like, at least, like, 40 to 50 hours. Weapon versatility looks better. Looks much better. Very fucking good. This is nice. Looking better. Let's see the second account. Oh, fucking yes. Semi-rounds, the best rounds, man. 1.3 KD in semi-rounds. Pistols are looking better because we're probably using the first round strategies from my ranked playbook on Discord server. Full buy rounds are good, optimal. And eco rounds, I mean, in eco rounds you can definitely have like 1 KD at least. You know, pick up the shorty, dash into the enemy's face, trade yourself for some kills. Operator is there, Outlaw is there, Classic, Shorty is being used. But, you know, Stinger is definitely a weapon that you should try to master as well. And here, like, you know, in this act you struggle a bit in the... this is kind of unacceptable for the pistol rounds. Like, pistol rounds should be much, much better for you. Like, essentially, pistol rounds are the most important rounds in Valorant. And, you know, you need to have a good KD, good performance, and good win rate in pistol rounds. Like, just replicate everything that I've shared, that I've discussed in my ranked playbook, you'll be totally fine. And also, like, you know, try to focus more on improving your mechanical skill on pistols. Like, classic pistol, I don't know, like... Shorty, Ghost, Sheriff, etc, etc. But semi-rounds are looking much better. Probably because we're using Outlaw more. Yeah, we're using Outlaw quite a lot. 0.9 kills per round with Operator, 0.7 with Outlaw. I have nothing to say. You are on a really good path. Really good path. And compared to the first time when I did a VOD review, like, if you continue doing what I told you to do, we don't even need to do this VOD review. Like, you're gonna get... during this summer, you're gonna get Ascendant 1. %. There is 70% of chance you're gonna get Ascendant 1 if you hard grind during this summer. In Episode 9, Act 1. Okay. Okay. We'll keep in touch through the private messages anyways, and this VOD review is not going to be wasted because you're going to get some additional private coaching content to teach you something about proper team play in Valorant. Okay, now it is time for the VOD review. Jett, Attacker, Side, Platinum 1. Sunset. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Frankfurt. You will never achieve anything in life with this mentality. What's happening in the chat? All I'm saying is facts. I'll ask Riot to add a 1v2 fight. All the greats had to overcome the same issues as you did. You're not special. That's actually true. I mean, literally, like, you know, no one is a main character. If you wanna be the best, you gotta beat the best. Okay, attack. They complain about the teammates only. Some copium. Okay. High coping gold player says it's not his fault he's stuck. Oh, so it's always your fault. Like, listen. 40% of matches in Valorant. Like, always remember this. Like, keep this in mind, like, when you're grinding. 40% of games in Valorant. Bro, I look homeless, man. I look like a fucking hobo from New York, man. New York Rats. Jesus Christ, man. Okay, listen. 40% of games that you lose in Valorant, you lose because there's nothing better you could have done. Either your enemies are better, your teammates are shit, you are shit, or matchmaking balance is just off. But 60% of games that you lose in Valorant, it's your fault. Not literally your fault, but there is something better you could have done to win that match. So, yes, 40% of games you just forget about them. Like, there's nothing to learn, like, just throw them in the trash can. But those 60% of games, like, you know, come on, man. Come on. Like, there's always something better you can do. Like, but there's also another factor. Like, basically, you know, depends how many matches you play. And how much you play Valorant, also. Because, like, in one act, if you play, let's say, 20 matches only, like, there is a chance that you get those 40% of games 70% of time. Like, basically, things kind of balance out if you play, like, 100 matches of Valorant per act. Like, if you play 100 games, I firmly believe, not believe, like, I can 100% like confirm there is 40% of games that are auto-lost and just nothing better you could have done, and 60% of games that you could have impacted in some kind of a way. In 100 matches. Now, the problem is, like, when you don't play Valorant a lot, you know, let's say you play during an act, like, 20 matches. There is a chance that out of 20 matches, you get, like, 12 games that are basically auto-loss. Only because you don't have a, you know, huge sample of the matches that you played. 100 games per episode, 100 games per act in 2 months. Like, if you played 100 games in one ranked act, 60% of the games that you lose are your fault. I'm not counting the wins. Like, I'm only talking about your losses. Now, let's talk about the Sunset now. So, Sunset attacker side. Story is always simple. So, on attacker side, number 1 priority, default bomb site, B site. Number 2 priority, A site. Number 3 priority, mid area of the map. In the first 4 to 6 rounds, the playstyle that we want to abuse is 5 men pushing, without lurking, without flanking. We want to test the enemies on A site and B site, and then in the 4th, 5th, or 6th round, we need to decide, do we really need the mid area of the map to win this match? If you notice that your 5-man pushes are not working, enemies are stopping you, enemies are fucking you up, enemies are, like, you're not able to plan the spike, your teammates don't know how to execute a site, we need to split the map, default a bit more, lurk, flank, maybe take the mid control, and then decide, you know, what to do next. But if the 5-man pushes are working, simplify your gameplay, you don't need to play alone, you don't need to split the map, just abuse that playstyle. Because if the 5-man pushes and 5-man executes are working in ranked solo queue, and enemies don't have a counter to your 5-man executes, enemies are fucked. Like, teams that don't have a counter for the 5-man executes are just fucked. Like, if you cannot stop the enemy's push, like, what can you do? Like, you're consistently playing the retakes, which is obviously not a good thing. Now, the best pattern of pushing on Sunset is the following. If enemies have Cypher, we always pre-assume that the Cypher is gonna play B. So, the pattern that we are using is we're pushing A side 3 rounds in a row, and then in a 4th round, we fake A, and we end up on B. If enemies don't have Cypher, we push B side 3 rounds in a row, and then in a 4th round, we're faking B, going A. Generally speaking, this is the best pattern of pushing, like when the map design and economy allows you to create this pattern. Because if you push the same site 3 rounds in a row, you create enormous amount of mental pressure on that specific area of the map, and in the 4th round, enemies will be making much faster rotations onto that specific bomb site. Now, when you're faking bomb sites, like, how do we fake sites in Valorant? Like, you always want to send your initiator to fake the site, and some kind of a useless agent in your team. Like, basically, you send the Sova, and maybe, like, I don't know, ISO, for an example, if you have, like, Jett and ISO as a duelist, and then, like, Sova is spamming the enemies, with utility in B main, ISO is using the shields, and your controller can give them one smoke to fake, while the rest of the team is slowly taking the space on the opposite part of the map as these guys are faking the site. When you're faking the site, you don't need to commit to the push, you know? You can just, like, if we hear the enemies rotating, these guys can rotate as well and essentially play with us. But what is very important when you're faking the bomb sets in Valorant is, like, these group of teammates, you know, that are with a spike and that are not faking, they need to take some space, you know, while these guys are faking the site. Like, you cannot just chill in the A main for like 20 seconds and wait for these guys to die. Like, you need to pick a good timing to take the space on the opposite part of the map. And what I would highly recommend you is, like, never be the guy. Like, never be the player that is, like, faking the site. Always be with a group, always play in ranked with a group of players that are not faking. But Charlatan, what if I'm playing Initiator? Then, fuck it. You know, send the, I don't know, like, if you are the Sova, send, like, Cypher there. Fuck it, you know, like, do some kind of a random arrow at the start of the round and rotate immediately, and that's it. Like, literally, you know, I will never be the one faking. Unless I'm playing maybe Omen and I have the ultimate so I can pick up the spike and play with my teammates, or I'm playing Yoru and I have a fast rotation teleport. Anyways. So that is the best pattern of pushing on Sunset, and what you should do and how you should play this map in the first, like, 4 to 5 to 6 rounds. On this map, like, you consistently need to be aware of lurks, flanks, and, you know, it's a very small map, and angle clearing is very important, and how you path. When you're taking the A side, you always prioritize taking the elbow instead of going through the stupid short area of the map. You go short only if you need to go there for some reason. And that's kind of it. Let's see, like, what my friend Shocked is gonna do. So in this VOD, enemies don't have the Cypher. So the best pattern of pushing and the best idea in this round is to push B side 3 rounds in a row, and then in the 4th round to fake B and go A. Also, like, whenever in the middle of the match you push the same bomb site 3 rounds in a row, you can, in a 4th round, do the fake. Because whenever you push same site like 3 rounds in a row, you always apply a lot of the mental pressure onto the enemy team, onto that specific bomb site. Like, especially, like, imagine you win 3 rounds in a row. Enemy's mentality is just, you know, fucked. Sure. Now listen, on Sunset with Jett, I would always buy on the attacker side, like, classic light shell and 2 smokes, or smoke and updraft if I'm playing against the Cypher. Like, there's no reason for you to buy a ghost. Like, majority of gunfights are like close range, medium range gunfights. Your job is not to fight the enemies in the main areas of the map. Your job is to close the gap with the enemies and fight them on the bomb sites. Like, fuck the ghost. And anyways, if one of your teammates die, you pick up the ghost and you're basically a juggernaut in that specific round. Okay, I mean, we can push A as well, but, you know, always pay attention, like, on the enemy's team composition. Like, here, enemies have KO. One very common play of the KO players is that they're gonna knife some kind of a shit like this, or they're gonna knife some kind of a shit like this. Like, always play a bit more passively. Wait, like when you're playing against the KO on attacker's side. Tell your teammates to dodge the KO knife and then do the execute. Okay.
Shadows traveling.
That nade is terrible. Okay. Elbow, we go elbow. Yes, sir. Yo, brother. Like, I don't like this shit. Like, you're not paying attention on all of the angles where the enemies can be at this moment of time. Like, we didn't check this angle properly. So we didn't check this position at all. You already pulled up your knife. And your chamber was not fast enough to clear this for you. Like, okay, brother. We're pushing the A site. Classic light shield, 2 smokes. We clear. We need to come a bit closer because we have a classic pistol. We clear this position, clear that angle, move forward, clear this spot, these positions, jump spot the enemies, move forward. This angle, also, not cleared at all. Like, you're running with a knife out. Like, what if I may be playing this? Who is that? Who guarantees you that I'm not playing here at this moment of time? You are not a wizard? I'm not a wizard. Don't act like a wizard. Also, this is one of the scenarios where I would actually go through the A short and change my pathing. Like, if I see that my spike is going A short with only 2 teammates. Like here, for an example. I'm disengaging enemies in the elbow and I'm turning my focus towards A short. Because I cannot afford losing this spike here while we are pushing through the elbow. So whenever I'm executing the bomb sites, as long as I'm not fighting the enemies on the screen, you know, I'm not actually picking the fight, my eyes are consistently going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, so that I can make the right game decision when I'm executing the sites and to get a good timing for that shit. Like, here for an example, this is one of the rare moments where I would actually go through the A short and not the elbow. But also your push is, I don't know what you're waiting for here. Like, we know that both of the enemies are on the site. Why are you holding this angle? Minimap awareness, 0 points still.
Spike down A.
This. What was that? Brother, I saw something below my glass, something very weird. Now, using this smoke dash right now in this position is not a good idea. Like, listen, there's nothing, like, there is nothing to execute.
Spike down A.
Like there is nothing to execute at this moment of time. Like, what are we executing? We know that 2-3 enemies are here, 1 enemy is on site. Like, right now, it would be much better to use our dash ability to fight the enemies instead of going in. Like, whenever you're in a numbers disadvantage, it is much better if you're using your dash ability to pick a fight instead of taking some space. Unless that space that you take will allow you to have some kind of an easy kill and actually, like, you know, isolate the, you know, basically, like, equal as the numbers advantage disadvantage. But here, like, you know, if I end up in this position here Like, I'm fully exposed from this guy here. If one of my teammates dies here, and one enemy is CT, two enemies are here, we're fucked, essentially. Like, I'm in the middle of in an open position where I can die from 3 different angles immediately.
A.
Party's over. Here.
And this is what I'm talking about, like, do you really need a ghost on Sunset? Like, basically with Jett, like, I don't know if there is a single map where I would buy a ghost in the first round. Icebox, I would always go with a sheriff. Maybe ghost and smoke in the first round, like, maybe. Breeze, I would go with the sheriff always, like, even on the attacker side, I go with the sheriff. Maybe it's ghost and smoke. But that's it, like. And Pearl, actually, like, if you're pushing B side on the attacker side, we need to buy the ghost and the smoke to execute the site. But on every other map, like, classic pistol is the best weapon in the game, literally. Like, classic light shield, smoke, updraft, or 2 smokes. That's it. You pick up the gun from your teammates or dead enemies. If you save the light shield, you are God in that round. Or God forbid you get a sheriff.
Last player standing. One
Here.
last player
Okay.
standing.
Okay, like, I mean, at the like, basically, the ending of this round here,
Party's over. Here.
the ending of this round here was just a pure mechanical skill diff. Like, essentially, you know, there is nothing better you could have done at the end, you know, of this round. Like, you just need to take this kill, take this shot, and it is what it is. But also remember, like, when you hear that enemies are really close to you, and you're expecting the enemies to engage you, always remember that it is better for you to engage the enemies instead of waiting for the enemies to peek you. Like, essentially, in a game of Valorant, like, you're consistently trying to, like, counter the peeker's advantage. I mean, everything that you're doing in a game of Valorant, like how you're holding the angles, how you're peeking the enemies, like, you're just trying to counter the game mechanics, you know, peeker's advantage, raw angle advantage, and angle perception advantage. So, like, if I'm already here,
Here.
my Fade is fighting the KO that is behind me. We heard the footstep of the claw there. I'm not gonna wait for the claw to delete me. If the Fade is already holding this for me, like, I'm gonna be the one that is trying to swing the claw. Or I'm gonna be moving a bit wider, like this, abusing the silent step mechanic to counter the claw's peeker's advantage and to maybe get an easy kill. But staying here and doing this doesn't do anything, essentially, and then you're just waiting to be deleted. Especially when the enemies reveal you on some kind of a location or position and you're playing it statically, you're such an easy target because with the proper crosshair placement and peeker's advantage, you're deleted.
Last player standing.
But let's be honest, you know, not like your teammates could have done a better job as well. Like, they all died like potatoes. Okay, we can push A set again. Now, in this round, if I'm pushing A set with Jett, what I would probably do is buy a shorty with a smoke. That's all that you need with a Jett. You know, like, we're pushing the A site. We can tell our Sky, can you buy a dog? Sky goes doggy, 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 dog. And we're pushing through the elbow with a shorty. We can kill the enemy with a shorty easily here. Enemies are all the way there. We use the smoke. We use the dash. Bop, bop. Take an easy kill. Like, basically in these eco rounds with the Jett, like, you really need to learn how to trade yourself for a kill with a shorty. Like, basically, shorty is such a good weapon. But obviously, like, in this round, you don't need to buy a shorty. You can just buy one smoke and play a classic pistol as well. It doesn't matter.
Point and break it. I got the spike.
Cover going out.
Okay.
Cover going.
They're playing passively.
Mark 1. Scout destroyed.
Nice.
Did our Omen just kill the enemy Claw with a classic pistol?
Enemy kill.
Nice trip. 48 on raise. Nice trip.
Listen here. Don't be sloppy with angle clearing. Like, that is the number one thing that you should always do correctly. Like, angles in Valorant are somewhat fucked up. You know, like, basically, it's very hard to have a good feeling how deep is a specific angle, because in Valorant, for some reason, like, angles are much deeper than in Counter-Strike. Like, I don't know if it is because of player models or FOV or whatever, but I see a lot of people in my coaching sessions, they're very sloppy with angle clearing. Like, they do this, and they're like, okay, I cleared that angle. But, you know, there's always a chance that you didn't clear that angle deep enough, and maybe you missed an enemy for a pixel. So essentially, like, whenever you're clearing an angle in Valorant, always clear it as deep as possible until you see every single pixel of that angle. Basically, like this. And then flick to another angle and move forward. It ain't the only thing that's fucked up. Actually true. I'm also fucked up by playing this game. Maybe the coloration? No, it's not the colors. Like, I don't know, like in Counter-Strike, like when I played CSGO, I always kind of had, like, I just had a better feeling for how deep are the angles. Maybe it's the FOV, maybe like it's the player models and then the depth of field. I don't know, man. In Valorant, like, this is the first thing that I noticed in Valorant when I started playing the game 4.5 years ago in closed beta. I just felt that I need to clear the angles so deep because and really, you know, lock onto them. And I cannot be sloppy at all. Like I don't know, in the CSGO you can kind of, like, you know, shift a bit faster from the angles. I don't know.
Nice trip.
I think it's FOV probably, like field of view.
48 on raise.
Last player standing.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Last player.
I probably would have done the same shit here, to be honest. Like, I mean, if I have a classic pistol, enemy is close to me, you know, with a Spectre, with in an eco round, like, you need to gamble the triple shot, like, and pray to the RNG gods. Like, there's nothing better he could have done, like, just the triple shot roulette. All good, all good. But this is a mistake for an example, like, why don't we go A again? Like, enemies on Ace that are not some kind of a gods. Like, to be honest, they're kind of terrible. Like, if you notice that enemies are completely selling you the aim and space and elbow without even fighting you here. I mean, that's a free bomb set for you. In the first full buy round, we go A. Playing A set without any pressure in aim and elbow, but that's a suicide. So much map control sold to the enemy team. And also, like, we just lost first round, which is always a bit of a gamble. Like, you never know how the first round is gonna go. Like, even if you play it to perfection, like, you know, your chances of winning the first rounds are usually like 60-70%, even if you do the best strategies and tactics. But we played an eco round. Nobody expects you to win an eco round anyways. Let's go, like, let's create this pattern of pushing, like, you know, pushing the same side 3 rounds in a row, and then in a 4th round, fake A, go B. Also in this VOD, like, surprisingly, your teammates are actually speaking. You know, at least they're listening to where to go, where we should go. Movement speed, it's not movement speed. And, listen here. Whenever you're playing on the attacker side, and enemies are eco or hull buy, never, ever play default or separated. Like, enemies are eco or halby on a defender side. We always play together, S5, pushing the enemies through some main area of the map and avoiding the claustrophobic areas of that specific map. So for an example, on Sunset, fuck the mid. Like in this round, this is the bonus round for the enemy team. Like when enemies are eco, halby, or bonus. 5-man push on B, 5-man push on A. Fuck the mid. Don't give the enemies 1 versus 1 gunfights. We have the weapon advantage, economy advantage. Let's use it. Maybe even utility advantage. I mean, like, listen. If you're pushing something and KO knife is already going to tag you, like, destroy the KO knife. Why? So that you don't give that KO information how many of you guys are in that specific area of the map. If the knife is already going to reveal your position, shoot it. Fuck it. Like, I mean, same for the Sova arrow as well. Like, it is better for you to reveal yourself than now KO detaining, 4 of you guys and revealing to the enemies on A side that there's 4 of you guys in the B main. So much information given to KO. And generally speaking, like, I told you, like, when you're playing against the KO, like, always pay attention. What is the default knife of that initiator on a defender side? Like, KO players really have a bad habit where they consistently repeat, the same utility 24/7. Like at the start of the round, they're always gonna drop knife like in A main or B main. Just if they're doing that, tell your teammates to play slow. Tell your teammates to dodge the knife for the first 5 to 10 seconds of the round, and then when the KO uses the knife, explode and take the space. Like, I mean, go slowly and then explode from the main area of the map. Like, it's stupid to get tagged by the KO knife that is using the same knife 24/7. Let me see if the KO, like what KO did in the previous rounds. So in the first round, he didn't use the knife, right?
Shadows
He used the knife. He used the knife in B main.
traveling.
We heard the sound.
I got the spike.
Cover going out.
He used the knife again. So 2 rounds in a row, you heard the KO using a knife in the B main area of the map. Brother, like one of the main things that you need to learn how to abuse in ranked solo queue, especially in low elo, like Iron 1 to Diamond 3, is lack of enemies' adaptiveness. Like essentially players in this elo, their playbooks, their gameplay is mega shallow. Like they always love to repeat same or identical patterns over and over and over again. Like very rarely I've met a gold player, diamond player, platinum player that has more than like 5 or 6 strategies on some kind of a map. In terms of utility usage, like and cheesy strategies to get some easy kills. So as soon as you see that some utility is being deployed like this, dodging it is the best idea, obviously, like, and just abusing that repetition. But getting tagged here was such a, like basically we were all playing on contact. Enemies had no idea how many of us are in B main, and if you destroy that knife above you, that would have been amazing, bro. But now continuing with this push, I mean, we can still do it, but it's gonna be risky. We'll see, like. Depends how fast enemies rotate. And this is why, like, you should always emphasize to your teammates, whenever enemies are eco, halby, or bonus on the attacker side, tell your teammates to play together as 5, avoid claustrophobic areas of the maps, avoid taking 1 versus 1 gunfights and just play fucking together. Abuse the numbers abuse the economy advantage, and that's it. Period. Like, you would never want your teammates to take this type of a fight and die in a 1v1 gunfight. Chamber, brother, can you play this round with us in the B main? I'm gonna give you $20 Valorant points after the match. I don't know, lie to them. Tell them you're gonna suck their cock, or I don't know, like, lick their pussy, like, I don't know, have e-sex with them after that on Discord. Like, tell them something, you know, lie to your teammates. But tell them that you're streaming to 1,000 viewers, like, I don't know. Like, just try to persuade them somehow to follow you. Good, but we need to clear this angle as well.
Where are you?
Okay, this pathing here still could have been a bit better. Like, you know, when you're pushing the B main area of the map fast. Essentially, like, what is your job is the following. Like, we jump spot this angle. Clear this position. Check that angle. Clear these angles, that angle. Then, you move like this. So you're still taking the cover there. So, we're checking these off angles. Bop, bop, bop. And now, we focus on the backside. So you cannot move like this. Because an enemy at the backside might take a fight. And that is going to be the indicator for this guy to peek out and kill you. You're going to end up in a crossfire. So in order to dodge this crossfire here, we need to move diagonally behind the box like this. There is still a chance for you to, you know, die by this guy peeking you from here. But the chances are significantly lower than doing some kind of a pathing like that. And then, you know, after we clear this angle, we can move forward and execute the bomb site. So the crosshair placement here could have been a bit better, like clearing that angle there. This angle, okay, fine, whatever. Then this pathing, you know, diagonal. Diagonal, bro. Like this. And then bop, bop, this.
Where are you?
Like basically, mastering proper pathing in Valorant is mega important on the attacker's side. Like, I would argue that 20 or 30% of deaths that happen in Elo's below Ascendant 1 are purely because of your pathing. How overexposed you are to how many angles. Like, when I'm moving, when I'm positioning myself, there's only one mindset. I don't want to be overexposed from the angles, which I don't see within my sight. I don't want to end up in some kind of a crossfire. Period. Yeah, what the fuck is that smoke, bro? Like, listen here. Like, this smoke here is good when, tell me, like, okay, in this round, like, listen, never do this smoke here, like this, if the enemies are equal or hull by. It's okay to do this smoke when you're playing, when enemies are full by, but if enemies are equal and hull by, push the enemies like this. And do this paranoia. This is more Omen coaching, like, he's not playing Omen, but because this smoke is terrible for this round. Enemies can use it to close the gap with us. Because enemies have stingers, bulldogs, maybe judge, I don't know, like. This was such an unnecessary play. I mean, yes, I want you to play Shorty more. Like, yes, I'm a huge advocate for playing Shorty, abusing it in the close range gunfights and that type of shit. When you need to use it, you know, like, but brother, enemies are playing an eco Halby bonus round. Enemies have a Spectre, Stinger, Sheriff, a Bulldog, and there is one enemy with a Phantom. Like, why would you close a gap with a Shorty if the enemies already have the guns that are worse than yours? Like, this type of a play would be okay, maybe, like, I don't know, if you were eco or Halby, you know, if you play that bonus round, or like if you were low HP, like maybe in this you know, as you're pushing the B main area of the map, you got headshotted by the Phantom and now you have 10 HP. Yes, I would go for this play. Try to trade myself for a kill through the smoke with a dash and shorty, and I will try to delete one enemy here. But with full HP, Phantom in my hands, and the full bomb site open, we just play long-range gunfights, and we try to fight with our dash ability.
Got him. Enemy B.
Like, wrong moment of time for this play, man. Like, what type of plays you do in Valorant? Heavily like, heavily depends on your economy and enemy's economy. And on how many of your teammates are alive and how many enemies are alive. Also, like, 4v5 numbers disadvantage is like nothing. You know, like, when you end up 4v5 or 5v4, that is not really numbers advantage. That's more like a, okay, we got an advantage, but we still, you know, we can still easily win this round if you, you know, play together or etc, etc. Like, true numbers advantage is like 5v3 for an example in Valorant. And also, like, you know, when you're entering this smoke, like, you need to enter it a bit better. Like, so if I'm going here, I always flick towards this corner. Because majority of the players, if there is a smoke here, majority of the players are playing here. I've never seen anyone playing in the middle of the smoke like this. Why? Because, I mean, I'm gonna spam you. Maybe back, you know? So, like, you know, if you're ever entering this smoke with some close range weapon, always do this. And instantly pre-aim there. Okay.
Don't let me down now.
But also, like, I mean, if we created that pattern of pushing, like, now in this 4th round, we could have faked the bomb site. We would have had higher chances of winning this 4th round. Also, like, you know, it would have been more unpredictable in the last round if we pushed A site again. Think about it. Predictability is very important in Valorant, like, actually being unpredictable and predicting the enemies. So, okay, like, what I usually say, that in Valorant, the first 3 to 4 rounds are the learning rounds. So in the first 3 to 4 rounds, even if you lose them, okay, it's fine. We can still win the match. As long as we gather the information that we can use to counter the enemies. So as long as you have an idea how to play the rest of the match. So what type of information we have right now? Enemy KO is repeating the same knife in the B main area of the map. That's actually the most important information. Enemies are not fighting aggressively for the aim in and elbow control. They're selling it for free. That is the second very valuable information. Enemy Raze loves to play aggro on mid. Third valuable information. So there's 3 things we can do right now. We can push B set on contact, dodge the KO knife and just explode. Surprise that guy. We can push A set on contact, basically walk all the way up here and then try to explode and try to surprise the enemies on A side. We can fake the A push and then go B, or fake the B push and then go A, because enemies are also rotating extremely fucking fast. And contesting the Raze in this round on mid, not the best idea. I mean, we have the stingers, so, like, you know, and not the best weapons for that. Don't be stupid. This is why I gave you that minimap and awareness training 1 month ago. I don't know if you're doing that training or if you started doing it, but that training should fix this type of a problem. Like, gather the information for yourself in the first 3 rounds. KO is doing the knife here. Most of the time. And yeah, he is again. Like, abusing repetition in Valorant. Like, like, essentially in this elo, like, between Iron 1 and Immortal 2, 80% of your matches you can win by simply abusing the enemy's repetition and enemy's mistakes. Like, you don't even need to make some kind of a good outplay or good play. As long as you're focused on compensating the mistakes of your teammates and reading the enemy's repetition and what type of and finding the gap in their playstyle, you don't need to go for some crazy outplays to be some big brain overlord, you know, like that is just outsmarting everyone. Because players do make millions of mistakes in this elo.
My bad.
And also in this round, like if we pushed A set on contact, we would have killed this stupid Reyna easily. Like there is no way that Reyna would be expecting us like just shifting through the A main. And I don't know, like just you need to lead your teammates a bit better. Like generally speaking, I always say that I never expect players that I coach to be IGLs, and you should never be an IGL in solo queue. But at least you should try to lead your teammates on a macro level. You know, if you have an idea or you see some kind of an opportunity or you see some kind of a mistake that you can abuse in the enemy team, like tell your teammates what to do. You know, hey guys, KO is doing the same fucking knife 24/7. Maybe we can abuse that knife to take the B main space slowly and then explode onto the B site.
Down mid.
Here, you needed to activate the dash ability. I mean, like, Reyna pushed A main area of the map a long time ago. We're definitely gonna fight the enemies. As soon as he did the smoke, he should have used the dash ability.
Last player standing.
And also to escape this fight. I mean, like, Jett dash ability is really good to take a fight with the ISO. Like, what you can do with a Jett, when you're fighting ISO, you can use dash ability to destroy the shield, and then after you destroy the shield, you reset yourself for a second gunfight.
Last player standing.
Never surrender, never surrender. Like, there is multiple reasons why you should never surrender in Valorant. First of all, like, every match is winnable to some degree. Like, you never know. Like today, like, in two of my matches today, I started like 3-6 or 2-6. In both games, my teammates wanted to surrender at around number 5 or 6, and we won both of the matches like 13-11 and 16-14 or something like that in overtime. So, like, that is the first reason. Second reason is every time you surrender, your account takes heavy hit in terms of MMR and rank rating. Like, surrender is like immediately telling Valorant, I lost this match with 0 kills, 13 deaths, and I lost every single round until the end of this match. So that's what surrender does. So surrender heavily impacts the health points of your account. Like, essentially, how health point, like the state of your account, your MMR. Like, there was not a single match of Valorant that I have surrendered in the last 4.5 years. I played even a 3v5 match on Fracture. And the more kills you get, the more rounds you win, the less rank rating you're gonna lose, and the less MMR is gonna be impacted. Your MMR, hidden MMR. So, like, always play every match to the end. And the matches that are lost, that you know that you already lost because your teammates are trolling or they left, focus on winning as many rounds as possible, and try to get as many kills, get as many solo kills as possible. If you get match MVP, you're gonna lose less rank rating and less MMR. Does it affect if you draw? No. If the match is drawn, like, you will maybe get rank rating. Depends how high MMR you have, like maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sometimes. And MMR is like what? Nothing. Like, nothing happens. Like, the match, you never play that match. Like, I draw a lot of my games in overtime, like, because whenever you end up in a 15-15 overtime, you should always draw. Like whenever there is only one vote to draw, always end the match. Because you're just a gambling addict at that moment of time. Like at 15-15, only God knows who's gonna win a game. If you didn't win a match in the first 24 rounds, fuck it, we go next. Better for you to play 1 hour of Valorant for nothing than playing like 1 hour of Valorant for -20. And then you need to like win 2 fucking matches in order to be in plus. You're a fucking idiot. You are a train wreck watch enjoyer. You know, you're watching XQC and train wreck, and that's why you have that fucking stupid mentality. Watching imbeciles on internet.
Shadow begins. Cover going out.
Okay. Listen, like, what I don't like in this VOD is how delayed your executes are compared to your teammates. Like, look at here for an example. Okay, you clear the whole B main area of the map. The claw medal didn't tag you. Enemies don't have a cipher, not a single sentinel, nothing. You see that your teammates are ready to go in. Your omen is drawing a paranoia. Instead of randomly trying to find some kind of a lucky kill in the smoke, I would be paying attention on when are my teammates ready to go out and making sure that the gap between me and my most aggressive teammate is close enough so that I can refrag that idiot. Like here, I'm not spamming in the smoke. I'm getting ready for the execute. I'm looking at the minimap. I'm trying to pick a right moment of time to go in.
I'll find you.
Like, in almost every round, like your timing of push through the elbow, through the B main, was off for like 1, 2, or 3 seconds.
They found my trap.
Hawk out.
One flank.
Listen, in the post plans, like the number one question you should always ask yourself. Which one of my teammates has the highest chances of dying? And who should I support? So, in this situation right now, you have only 2 options. You're either coming back to play with your chamber, to kill the enemy Reyna, or you're pushing with the sky. And those are the options. Because that is the number one question for which you need to find an answer. Spike is getting planted. I'm not even asking myself where the fuck should I play, like what is my default postman position. I'm just looking at, I take a sneak peek at the minimap, and I'm like, who out of 4 of my teammates has the highest chances to die, and who do I need to support? We don't need to completely support them, but we need to be ready to refrag them and to play with them. So I'm not gonna support every mentally dented play, you know? But I'm gonna be there. Like for example here, I would have done 2 things based on this minimap. Like I would have either came back, hold this angle, wait for the chamber to pick a fight with Reyna, swing together with the chamber, refrag the chamber, and then play with my teammates on site. Or I would get inside of the smoke, wait for my sky to take this fight, and then peek together with the sky and try to take a kill and then go back onto bomb site with another teammate. Like these type of teammates you need to support in the post plant, and you need to play with them. Any of these 2 game decisions would have been fine, except what he did.
One flank.
I guess our fade is deaf. Like, also you're a deaf a bit. Like, I mean, why are you watching your back? Wait, is Rey's? Wait. So Reyna is B main. Okay. Omen died. We know KO is market. We don't know where is the race. Why are you watching B main? You know that Reyna is on the site. brother. Like, we have headset. Like, you heard her going there and you didn't flick there. I mean, you didn't flick there in time.
Last player standing.
I don't know. The main mistake in this post plant was not making a fast enough game decision to play with your teammates that are going to be the first ones to get a fight. Get in some kind of a fight. You got stuck in a really bad spot without being able to refrag or support any of your allies. That is the worst thing that can happen for you in a post plant, where you're a useless piece on the basically checkboard.
But
Okay, I understand what he's doing here. Like, Reyna in the last 2 rounds went for the aggressive push through the A main, and she was lurking and flanking. This might work. This might work. He might get a kill here. And in this round, like, yeah, this might work. Okay, this is good. Maybe she's gonna push again. But we need to tell our teammates, bro, like, you need to pay... Listen, when you're holding some kind of an angle, like, not only that you need to pay attention on how you're holding it, but also on the minimap, you need to be 100% certain that your teammates are not gonna die. And also, you heard the Reyna pushing. But tell your teammates, hey guys, enemy Reyna is pushing A main. And also, tell your teammates the plan that you have. Enemy Reyna is always pushing A main area of the map. Be aware of that, guys. Don't die from the A main. I'm holding it for you. That was, like, he would have easily killed the Reyna there.
Enemy spotted mid.
It's you and me.
Okay, that's a free Vandal. Take a Vandal. Yeah.
One enemy remains.
What?
Ult's ready.
Okay.
nice Jett.
Okay, we know that KO is the B player. We just go A and finish the round. But one mistake here, obviously, if you know that you're gonna fight the enemies and you're playing Jett, always pre-activate your dash ability. Always. If you think there is even 5% of chances for you to fight an enemy in a 50-50 duel, always, every single time when you die, without using your dash ability, it is the moment of time where you could have done something better. And protecting this body here was actually a good idea, and I would have done the same thing, obviously.
One enemy
Party's
remaining.
over.
Oh.
Ult's ready.
Okay.
Okay, right?
We're going up.
Okay, I mean, this postman here is, like, not really the best right now. They went onto the A side, they planted the spike in this corner, like, the thing is here, there's no reason to play this separated, you know? Like, all 3 of them could have been just in elbow. Like, 2 players are watching the site, 1 player is watching the A short, and that's it. Like, this is overcomplication of a post plant. Something that players really like to do a lot. Like, you know, holding way too many angles for no reason. Like, we don't know if this KO is gonna come from CT, from the back, from the A short. Like, why pick all of these fights? If I'm already 3v1, like, there's 1 enemy left alive. And I have, like, 1 teammate, 2 teammates, 3 teammates, 4 teammates with myself. Just isolate angles in a way where you need to hold less angles and where you can easily fight together.
Can you make it? Yeah.
Like, the less you complicate things in Valorant, the more success you're gonna find. The less you're fighting alone, the more success you're gonna find.
I saw.
Blinding. Shadows traveling.
Okay. Okay. Oh, we died! Ay. Okay, we have ultimate. Yeah, we can use the ultimate with a short or stinger in this round.
It begins.
Brother, if you don't dodge this KO knife, I don't know, like, literally... You know. Let's play Candy Crush Saga, like, or something else, like. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way that KO is doing the same knife 6 rounds in a row, and we don't observe that at all. You didn't take that note anywhere, like in your brain or on, you know, on a notepad.
I can't use that.
2 here. Meh, maybe.
Give me those shots.
Shit.
Shot? Give me dog. Give me dog.
Time to hunt.
Close. Stop.
Always, listen, but always, when you're fighting the enemies, getting in another fight, pre-activate this stupid dash ability.
Handle here.
Shadows traveling. Stealing sight.
Let me all.
Seek them out. Found one. Lock in sight.
Listen here.
All here.
If we're playing behind the smokes, and the enemies are spamming the smoke, you're playing Jett. You have the ultimate and updraft ability. Try to get a kill. I mean, this smoke, no matter how it looks like, you know, it's always gonna have a huge gap right here. Like if enemy Claw is already spamming it like an imbecile from here or here, updraft, get her out of the server. You know, take an easy kill. And also, when you're executing the bomb sites, like, always try to path in a way where you're not gonna get, you know, spammed. Like, if I heard this Claw spamming from this position, you know, I'm not gonna move onto the left side to execute a site. I'm gonna move from the right side and do this. And then maybe engage the enemy Claw. If I heard the enemy Claw playing on the left side, right here, and she was doing this, then I would move from the left side and do this. So I don't get in the way of a spam. If I heard one enemy spamming from this position, once again, I would go from the right side for the execute. Like, the most stupid thing that can happen for you is dying inside of the smokes or choke points while you're trying to do some kind of an execute. Because of the enemy's random spam and because you're bugging each other's out with, you know, bodies. Like, bugging, cluttering the choke point with your teammates.
Let me all.
Seek them out. Found one. Lock in sight.
Now there is no way, but there is just... There is no way. There is no way we're not gonna dodge the KO knife in the 8th round, guys. Aha, so how we're gonna dodge the KO knife? We're gonna run faster than the KO knife and pass it. We're not gonna wait for the knife to explode, you know, like we're just gonna run it like fucking Usain Bolt, man. That's another way of dodging the KO knife, I guess. Outrunning the knife, man.
Time to hunt. Scout
Okay.
destroyed.
Shadows traveling.
Are we going?
Here.
Let's go.
Lock in sight. Blinded. Fire in the
Okay.
Last player.
Are we going?
Scout destroyed.
Listen, like, the problem here is just that your execute was mega delayed, like, and nothing else, to be honest. You know, like, I mean, do you really need to use a smart ping for this execute, man? Like, I mean, it's not a rocket science, you know. It's not a nuclear physics fucking NASA, man. Like, brother, like, you just do this, like, how hard is that, you know? I mean, okay, like pulling out the minimap to be precise, and I want you to do that when you have time to do it, but yeah, this is not a rocket science, my man.
Time to hunt.
You're not doing some kind of a complicated execute where you really need a smart thing.
Scout
Okay.
destroyed.
Shadows traveling.
Are we going?
Here.
Let's go.
Blocking sight. Blinded.
But generally speaking, the main and the biggest problem in this VOD was, number one, the initial pattern of pushing on the attacker side of Sunset. Number two, not reading the enemies well enough. You need, like, in the first 4 to 5 rounds, trust me, in 80% of the matches, you will already find and see some kind of a weakness in the enemy team. 80% of the games. You're just not aware of it. Like, you're not taking the proper notes for yourself. And I gave this guy, I gave you Shocked Man the specific training for this. Like, I mean, you still need to keep doing it. Like, I mean, it is gonna take you like months to fix this problem. But that's one of the main problems here. Like, so much autopiloting, doing random shit on the map, not really countering the enemies. Like, abusing that KO in the B-main and that early knife can be so good. To dodge it, and then slowly push and surprise the KO. Abusing the enemy's Reyna aggression and holding her aim and push, taking the kill and then going aim in. Pushing A set on counter because enemies are never fighting for the aim and control. Like, enemies are doing fast rotations. Whenever you see that enemies are doing such a fast rotations like this, fake one bomb site, go on to opposite part of the map. Like, enemies never have an anchor, essentially.
Last player standing.
Going?
Here.
Let's go.
Blocking sight. Blinded.
The execute was good. The execute was fine. Like, I mean, staying in the smoke, flicking left side. Execute was actually clean, but you know, the problem is, like, it took us so much time to actually enter the site.
Why?
I will be their nightmare.
This round as well, like, it will be much more unpredictable if they go B again, but just dodge the KO knife and use the Fade ultimate to execute the B site. But I guess we are not gonna do that.
Cover going out.
Yeah, no. Listen, my man. Like, you heard this raise on the left side. As soon as the raise, use the nade. That's the indicator for you to use the dash ability. Like, listen, man. If there's 5% of chances for you to fight an enemy, react with the dash ability. Just 5%. Like, you have that feeling that there is a chance for you to fight an enemy. Like, that enemies might be playing some angle that they usually play, like, or you hear the footsteps, like any indicator that there's gonna be a fight. Activate the dash ability. Always. It's never wasted if it could have saved your life. I love this woman play. This woman might get us 2 kills, actually.
Our spike carrier is killed.
Spike down.
So you're engaging the enemy raise again. You're engaging the enemy raise without using the dash ability. Okay, I mean we can play Reyna then, ISO, I don't know.
A.
So we are engaging enemies in another fight without using dash ability. Okay, play, I don't know, Deadlock. And this is why I said that it would be much more unpredictable if we went B side this round. I mean, if I was the enemy, I destroyed your push on B in 1 round, in 2nd round. So they failed the B push in 2 rounds in a row. And in that 3rd round, I'm gonna be definitely, you know, stacking that A site and expecting you to push A.
Oops.
Okay. By the way, it was like totally fine here that he didn't play with the Fade and Chamber. Anyways, he's low HP. He needs to pick some kind of you know, some kind of like cheesy pick, cheesy kill. Like, and I mean, in this type of scenarios, like when there's uneven, odd number of teammates alive, as long as two of your teammates are playing together, you don't need to play with them. You can go for some solo plays and try to isolate the enemies in a different way. When you're in a numbers disadvantage.
Last player.
Okay, just from now on, we're gonna make a small agreement. Like, every single time when you want to updraft on this position, you're not gonna updraft like this. You're gonna updraft like this. And that's it. And also, another thing that I love to do is, if CT is already not smoked, and you know, there's a chance for enemies to be in the CT or they are in CT, I love to use a fake updraft. Basically, I use the updraft, and then I use the bullet to mask my sound. Then enemies are gonna think that I'm up here, and I can engage them from a completely different elevation point. Especially in this elo, like, I mean, this is too complicated for the enemies to think about. Like, Reyna, you see the Reyna there. Use the updraft here. Use the bullet to mask the sound, and then ba ba ba. But also, I mean, if you already wanted to reach this position with the updraft, I mean, you could have easily just done a smoke, updraft dash, and then from this spot, clear that angle, engage enemies in the CT. Like, why did you use the smoke dash updraft? Like, it doesn't make any sense. If you already want to reach some vertical position. Okay, KO knife again. I mean, every single round where they go B, I'm just gonna skip from now on, to be honest. We know what's the solution for that, you know? Like, oh, yeah. Listen, another thing I need to emphasize here. Like, if you have any type of a recon agent in your team, they need to give you recon utility in the B main area of the map. Like, if you have Sova in your team, he needs to use his arrow or drone to scout the B main area of the map. If you have Cypher in team, he needs to use a camera right here that sees this cross. If you have Sky, she needs to use the dog for this, or at least a flash right here that is gonna flash the enemies behind the box and also the enemies in the B main. Just to push the enemies back a bit and to give us the info if the enemies are in this area of the map. Like, they have like Sky and Fade, brother. Like, I don't know, tell your Fade, like, Fade, my man, can you please do your dog like this? And with this pathing, the dog is gonna clear literally all of these positions right here. You'll feel my deadly last fist, bro. Okay.
Cover going out. Still in sight.
Market.
One enemy remaining.
Hit 70.
Spike down B. Team
Actually, a solid execute, to be honest. Like, solid pathing as well. Good map awareness. We close the gap with the enemy. ISO. Okay. Surprisingly, I don't want to shit about this round. It was okay. It was okay.
Shadows traveling.
They can even be spotted from the KO knife to fake B easily. In this heal, they're gonna insta-rotate. That's also true. Like, that is another... Like, that's why I always say that game knowledge is the most important shit in Valorant. Like, the most important skill set in Valorant. Like, because you need to understand, like, all of the possibilities and opportunities that you can create or that you have at that moment of time. And adaptiveness is also very important. Like, yeah, like, I mean, if the KO is doing the same knife, like, 24/7 here, like, you can send 2 of your teammates to just get spotted, scouted there with a knife, and then, you know, they're maybe gonna do a fast push here. You kill that guy that is doing a fast push, you take the ASAP for free. Or enemies are gonna instantly rotate, you take ASAP for free. While these 2 teammates don't need to do anything. They can just go back, essentially.
Blinding.
Time to hunt.
Hey, oh, what is that? Oh, yeah, that Omen teleport. Omen, brother, if you're watching this, Timpy, discord.gg/charlatan, agents playbook, rank playbook, like, tier 1 sub, immediately. Also, like, if nobody wants to pick up the spike, even if you're playing duelist, pick up the spike with yourself. And then when you're taking the fights with the enemies, just drop the spike before you take a fight. So if you're fighting the enemies in the elbow, you know, drop the spike. At least the spike is gonna be here, and not all the way here. And even if I'm playing duelist, I pick up the spike with myself and I just drop it when I'm ready to take a fight or ready to execute a sight. Once you execute a sight, at least the spike is close, you know, we can pick it up later.
Mark 3. Scout destroyed.
Reloading.
Bring them down.
Shadows traveling.
Take hold. Blocking sight.
We don't have time. Is that okay?
I don't know, man, like this object here is mega risky that you're doing here. Like, I mean, listen, if you wanted to use the updraft to fight the enemies from this position, you needed to wait for your teammates to pick a fight with the ISO and enemies on sight. Like,
Time. Is that okay?
but to be honest, I mean, I understand. I understand, like, what he did here. Like, somehow, like, ISO is not flashed. Probably because ISO turned around. I think that he used the updraft here because he thought that the ISO and this guy are flashed. I mean, that's an okay pre-assumption, to be honest. Like, just...
We don't have time. Is that okay?
Just, I mean, like... Yeah, I mean, it's okay, like, I guess. Plus the Sky picked up the fight there, but she died from the short, like... It's okay. Wukujin told in his video, if you're a duelist, don't touch the spike. That's why Wukujin is like a ascendant player, like, you know. Like, brother, listen here. Like, nobody wants to take a spike, take it with yourself. And just keep it close. Like, on attacker side, we're playing the game called plant the spike. Not retake the spike. Like, if nobody wants to pick this spike, or your teammates are just always selling the spike to the enemies. You're playing Jett, no problem. So, our idea is to push A side. I'm gonna pick up the spike, and I'm gonna drop it at every moment of time when I'm ready to take some kind of a fight. We are pushing A fast, enemies are in elbow, we drop it close to the elbow. We clear the elbow, pick up the spike, drop it in the elbow again. Execute a sight, we take the sight, we take the spike, plant the spike. I don't wanna fucking go all the way here to... I take the sight, and I need to retake the spike. What the fuck, bro? Also, one more tip. Like, here, if you already wanted to updraft on this spot and fight these enemies, you needed to use your smoke and then updraft and from the smoke pick the enemies, because obviously, like, in the middle of your updraft, you're not ready to fight the enemies. Or, if you want to updraft and fight the enemies, you had to crouch and then uncrouch as you're basically getting from the updraft. So that basically you reset the gun accuracy a bit more, like. But I don't know, like, going for this play overall, like, was a bit unnecessary. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, what the fuck? We could have just fought with our teammates, you know, like, Sky flashes this, we just peek, like, why complicate things? We have 3 teammates coming from elbow, we know that 2 enemies are stuck on site, Sky is coming through here, like, why would we ever do this? If you already want to go up there, just do that execute, you know, fuck it, and updraft dash, get in the smoke, from the smoke, bob up, bob up. That's it.
Who will I spot first?
Hilarious.
Whoa.
Lose this round.
Let me hear the.
Okay, we have to lose this round, guys.
I think you have to lose this round. 3-9, huh?
Who will I spot first?
Hilarious.
It doesn't work like that, trust me, man. In gold deal, it doesn't work. Oh! So, out of 12 rounds that we played on our defender side, this is the first round where the KO did a knife. Imagine that, bro. Imagine dragons.
I'll find you.
Charlatan doing flashes with the KO, man. Those are my flashes.
Can you put another smoke on top?
Bring them down.
Shadows traveling.
Listen, if you're taking space in elbow, and you know, you don't want to get peeked from this angle, the best idea is always to use some kind of a one-way like this, and then get behind it, clear this, and then go there. Like to use the smoke a bit closer, or maybe like this, then clear this, and then around the smoke wrap the enemies. But once again, like, my man, you're playing Jett. You know, you're playing a Jesus Christ agent that can escape any situation, that can get away with a kill very easily. Like, if I saw that Reyna that close, fighting me, like, as I'm pathing, as I'm clearing the angles, I'm pre-activating the dash ability, and I'm ready to fight that Reyna. Like, I do this. Okay, I have a dash. I miss a few bullets. Bop, bop. You know, one bullet or burst fire. I go out, reset myself, bait my omen to peek after the omen, or peek together with the omen. Like, the dash ability is a tool for you to execute the sites, retake the bomb sites, take space, pressure the enemies, and an incremental tool to take an incremental gunfight. Like 1 bullet, 3 bullets, you're out and you reset yourself for the next fight. Like, you're not pre-activating dash ability enough, especially when you already know you're gonna fight the enemies. I mean, we can talk about his aim for days, but it doesn't matter. Like, if your utility user is shit, and you could have prevented a death, fuck the aim. Like, because at a certain point in Valorant, like, already around high ascendant immortal elo, like, mechanical skill kinda evens out. Like, I mean, you will see that, you know, mechanically, like, an immortal player and a radiant player are, like, almost identical. There are some radiant players that have mechanical skill of an ascendant, and they're radiants. Like, for example, my mechanics are like the bottom of radiant. Brother, like bikini bottom aim. But I'm still consistently radiant in almost, you know, every episode, not really every act, but what can, I cannot play this fucking game every fucking month, you know. Now I have to coach some people. But essentially, like, when you're playing Jett, every time when you die and you had a dash ability that you didn't activate or didn't use, is the death that was preventable. And that's where the story ends for that round. Now, on this attacker side, I think that we covered everything that you need to do a bit better. Definitely your timings of the executes can be much better. when you execute a site, you don't need to complicate the things with the updraft, you know? If you already want to reach some kind of an elevated position, just, you know, updraft dash, smoke, and get on that position. You need to execute bomb sets with better timing, like together with your teammates, and predicting the enemies. #1 priority. Like, we could have countered the enemies in this match in so many different ways. And I'm gonna send you, like, basically, reading the game is like mega important in Valorant. And how do you get better at reading the game? By improving your game knowledge. And that's it. There's no easy way out. Like game knowledge and adaptiveness. Like, you need to observe a lot of different scenarios to learn what is good, bad, and optimal. For every, like, strategy, tactic, utility usage for every single agent in the game. Good, bad, and optimal team composition on every single map. Good, bad, and optimal pathing, positioning, like... Every problem in Valorant that you have starts from lack of your game knowledge. Not your mechanical skill, not your communication, not even your mentality or attitude. Game knowledge is your worst enemy in this game. Because you think you know a lot, but in reality, it's not even, like, close most of the time. Or you know a lot, but you don't know how to implement it, which is a problem for another time. Also, after this VOD review, I'll send you some, like, coaching, additional coaching videos to help you with reading the game and reading the enemies, like my private coaching content. Okay, let's move on to the defense. And when it comes to your mechanical skill, keep doing the aim training routine that I've shared with you previously. Just keep doing that. It's getting better. Your angle clearing, pathing, crosshair placement, everything is getting a bit better. But keep doing, you know, it can be much better. Much better. Much better, actually. Okay. What do you think is a better gun overall, Vandal or Phantom? Whatever you prefer, man. The better gun is the gun with which you have better statistics. And that suits you better. Now, like, Defender side of Sunset. Very simple map, as per usual. Fast rotation map. What does that mean? You don't give a fuck about map control. You always prioritize team play over the map control. Always. Like, you want to fight with your teammates on a refrag potential, and you want... If you need to play 5v5 retakes 24/7, play 5v5 retakes 24/7. Rotate a bit faster. You can almost rotate on the first contact, or make some kind of a move on the first contact between enemies and your teammates. And now, B site, #1 priority, default bomb site. #2 priority, A site. Whenever you have no idea where the enemies are gonna go next, default onto the B site, or around the market or B main. On this map, in the first 4 to 6 rounds, you can play a bit more passively. Let's say 4 rounds, for an example. And then after the 4th round, you need to ask yourself, can you play passively? Because if passive gameplay is killing you, you know, if you cannot defend the bomb sites, like, you need to pressure the enemies in the B main and A main area of the map, or maybe mid, and take more space from the enemy team, while the rest of the teammates can just rotate to the opposite part of the map, for an example. Like, whenever the passive gameplay is not working for you on Sunset, I mean, the best default thing is to take the A main control, or maybe B main control, or try to surprise the enemies in B main, and then to make some kind of a decision based on where we see the enemies and what the enemies are doing. And on this map, you consistently, always, need to have, like, information whether or not enemies can be in the market and top mid. Like, I will always fight for the market control instead of fighting for the B side control. I will always fight for the top mid control instead of the A side control. like, having the control of top mid and info here and here is crucial. You lose the market, round is fucked up. You lose top mid. Enemies open so many different opportunities. Also in that match that we played previously, also on the attacker side, when you played on the attack, if you already noticed that your 5-man pushes are not working in the first 4 to 6 rounds, we need to touch the mid. You know, we need to try to take the market, pressure the enemies on top mid, and see if we can do anything there. Like just continuing 5-man pushes after the 6th round, when we notice that the 5-man pushes are not really working for us, it's stupid. Like you're just beating your head in the same fucking wall and losing the rounds in the same way. That's the worst way how you can lose the games in Valorant. Like just trying to do the same shit over and over again. Now, in the first round of Ascent with the Jett, I would always start in the market, close the market doors, and rotate towards the B set and play slightly more aggressively in the B main. We can play some kind of a classic pistol shorty strategy here. If we have this type of a smoke from our smoker, you can buy a classic pistol light shield, 2 smokes, you can buy a sheriff, and contest enemies aggressively in the B main area of the map. And if you really prefer the stupid ghost, yes, you can buy a ghost and a smoke. If enemies are pushing in the mid, just, you know, play around the market and or rotate towards the top mid to support your teammates. And if the enemies are pushing A side, just go into A. Like all of the first round strategies for Jett, I have explained in depth in my ranked playbook for Jett on my Discord server. And you have the access to that. Okay. Yeah, we can do this.
3,
Okay, now this is insta rotazione patazione.
7.
Okay.
I just got right click.
Clear the mid, clear the mid. Okay, not bad.
It's okay.
Play with the Omen, he's gonna be the first contact. Activate the dash ability. Dash ability, dash ability, dash ability!
See ya.
What is this, bro? Okay, here. Like, this peak without the dash ability, mega giga risky.
Spike planted.
Now, here. Okay, we used 1 smoke. 2 of our teammates are CT. Going for the execute right now to pressure this KO at the backside is a good idea. But don't rush things out, you know. Like, you cannot really dash in the enemy's face and expect to kill that enemy, you know, like with a classic pistol. Like, maybe you can gamble the triple shot. But if you already have a second smoke, just do this. And now, bap, 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 bap. Kill the KO. Maybe we can defuse the spike. Who knows? You just rush things out here at the end. Like, I mean, this, you know, gets better over time as you truly become a main of some agent. Like, you spend like 300, 500 hours on a character. You will not be making these mistakes. Like, you have these small utility user mistakes where you are either not combining your utility properly, or you misuse it, or like you don't use it at the right moment of time. Like, on the attacker side, you know, using the updraft here, like when you're fully overexposed from the enemies and just looking at them while they're killing you. Like, if I want to get up here to fight an enemy, I need to use a smoke. But we can also fake the updraft, you know, do this, shoot 1 bullet, and now peek, bap, take a kill. Same goes here. If I'm going for this retake, like, and I have 2 smokes, I'd rather like smoke, dash. As always, getting the info, killing the KO, and now fighting with 2 of my teammates that are CT. If you kill this KO, I think we would have won this round easily. Maybe, I don't know, like. Best duel is to play as Omen main. I want to try something else, or Jett. Because the executes are same, pathings are identical, positioning is identical. Okay. Now, when you lose the first round of Sunset, in the second round, like on the second round of Sunset, you should always play on in the market as well, no matter what happens in the first round. And if you lose the first round, like you can close the doors and play the classic pistol shorty strategy here or here and try to get an easy kill in the market. But also you can play a classic pistol shorty strategy here. You know, basically dropping the classic pistol onto this position, playing with the shorty here, trying to get one pick in the B main area of the map and getting out. Now, if your teammates want to buy and force in the second round, after you lost the first round, then, I mean, you can just force a Stinger with a light shield, Stinger with a heavy shield, and utility, and try to fuck up the enemies. You know, once again, basically, listen, one very important tip on Sunset. Whenever you have no idea where the enemies are going to go next, start somewhere around the market and B set. Unless enemies are really abusing you on the A side. And whenever you're not fighting for the mid control, always close the market doors. You don't need it. Like, close this choke point. You're rotating from market, from B set to A set. Close the doors as well. Just a second, guys. I have a coaching session right now. I need to tell a guy that I'm gonna be a bit late. What's the name of the guy, bro? Wait, I don't want to leak something. Charlatan Doxer. Ah, here it is. Just to tell him. I'm ready in 30 minutes. Danzo. Sorry, bro. Sorry. Whenever I do these live VOD reviews, man, like, they take me so much time. Like, we're already 2 hours in. Bikini bottom aim. I think that's gonna be the name of my account. Bikini bottom hashtag aim.
There's a fog place here I've been dying to try. Let's get this over with quick. My ult's ready.
30 seconds.
So, you know, like, if I lost the first round and we were playing an eco, I'm just gonna play with a classic and shorty here with one smoke, close the market, and see what enemies are gonna do. If they're going through market, I can maybe, with a dash ability, engage them, take a kill, get the fuck out. If they're going B, usually people smoke this. They're coming into the site. I can use the shorty, maybe take a kill, get out. Okay, this is fine.
Here again.
Especially like if enemies are not using any initiator utility here to reveal you, and enemies don't have like a cipher camera. Playing these positions is really nice, especially in some kind of a double bait setup. Like, you should be playing always a bit more aggressively in the B main whenever you notice that enemies are not, you know, clearing this area of the map with initiators, recon utility, and the cipher cam. This is okay, what he did. Now enemies are going A. Good rotazione. Good rotation. Rather.
Mark 3. Last player standing. Spike planted.
But once again, man, like, you try to focus more on this topic of activating the dash ability. Like I mean, you're playing Jett. I mean, enemies are quite literally in your anal cavity. I mean, what?
Last player standing. Spike planted.
It wouldn't make any difference here, but keeping good habits is very important. Okay, now we're playing an eco round. What the fuck? Now, was it fine to play ace in this round? Absolutely. I mean, like, for 2 rounds in a row, my teammates are just mentally ill, and they, like, completely get destroyed on one bomb site. Like, we cannot lose 3 rounds in a row on the same site. Now, one mistake here is, like, I don't know Like here did a knife. What was this panic? Like you're on the edge of the knife. He could have, like, just look at the minimap. Whenever KO is doing a knife, like, just take a look at the minimap. Can I somehow dodge this knife? Like that knife would not reveal him if he just took one step backwards. Like this. He's not revealed. And now we can play here with a Bucky. And on this range, we can easily take a kill. I don't know, like this was like a 20 IQ play, essentially. Like, especially because you're getting revealed by the KO knife, but you cannot play anymore here. Like in this elo, maybe you can get a kill. Like, I mean, you know, in this elo, maybe even if you get revealed by the KO knife, maybe you can get up here and get a kill with the left click and that's it. But in high elo lobbies and medium elo lobbies, like you'll get scouted by the enemy raise, boombot, nade, dog, flash, parano. Like you'll get fucked in if you got revealed by the KO knife. If you got revealed here, like you either you just go back. You just go back and that's it. And play some other angle. Like maybe play here. You're fully hidden from the A short. This is a really good angle for the shotguns actually. When you're playing Jett, you know, movement type of agents. Enemies are pushing in. They're clearing this angle. Bam. Easy kill. Then we can create space with a smoke. Get onto sight. Maybe close the gap with an enemy. Here. With a dash ability. Up. Take another kill. But continuing the pressure. After we got scouted by the KO knife. Suicide move. And also, like, I mean, Bucky's right click is like a joke. Essentially. Like, I mean, you really want to avoid fighting with the right click as much as possible. You know, the range on which Bucky is actually good is like 0 to 6 meters maximum. And only with a left click. 0 to 8 actually. 0 to 7. And like another thing I wanna tell you is that on Sunset, I mean Bucky generally, like, I don't know why would you ever buy this weapon with a Jett. I mean it's okay sometimes, but if you always want to buy a Bucky, like, I don't know, buy Shorty or Sheriff, you know, it's just same shit. Like Bucky is very inconsistent and you're investing 850 credits for a weapon that is almost on the same level as a Shorty, essentially. Like,
Point.
you see, enemies are smart. Enemies are smart. Now, we're in a huge problem, like. It's a huge problem, brother. Like, you know? Like, they push 3 rounds in a row A. They applied enormous amount of pressure. They abused the right pattern of pushing. Now, you see, like, what we are doing. We're stacking in the A side. B side is wide open. If I was in the enemy team, right now I would go B. And that's why in this round, I'm playing in the market and supporting my chamber. Reverse psychology, you know, like all of the things that you would do, expect enemies to do. Or, you know, just always put yourself in the shoes of the players in your elo that you're playing with or against. I don't know, I mean, like, there's a huge chance enemies push A again, but and one more thing, like, we talked about this already, but I want to emphasize it one more time. If you notice that the passive gameplay is not working for you on Sunset, take space, take map control. I mean, if there's already like 4 of you guys starting on the A site, there's no point playing passively if you're just gonna get stomped. Tell the Omen, brother, can you do a smoke here? Can you give me this paranoia? And you're playing Jett, you have a dash ability, go for the aggressive peek, take a kill. Tell the Sky to use a flash as well, maybe a dog, push the enemies back, take the full aim and control, and now we can focus on mid and B side, while only one of you guys can hold this angle, for example. And that's it. Like, we cannot, like, the worst thing that can happen for you in Valorant is losing like 3 rounds in a row by trying to do the same shit that is not working. Like losing 2 rounds in a row, trying to do the same shit is fine. Because we're testing the enemies. We're testing the, like some strategy, tactic, or playstyle, or pattern of pushing, etc, etc. But losing 3-4 rounds, or god forbid 5 rounds in a row, trying to use the same playstyle, same execute, same, you know, pattern of pushing is absolutely stupid.
Spike down
Okay.
A.
Okay. Not bad.
Enemy remaining. Spike down A.
Okay.
Spike down.
I mean, listen, like, whenever you notice that... Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm kinda... Brother, I'm kinda sleepy. I mean, listen, like, Bucky is not bad, it's just, like, a bit underwhelming compared to other shotguns. And that's a problem. It's so bad that I didn't know Bucky right-click existed for 18 months of playing Valorant. I mean, like... A right-click is, like, only... is a situation with Bucky. Like, you wanna use right-click only if you're, you know, fighting enemies above, like, 10 meters or 15 meters, like, in this range. And that's it. And in every other scenario, you just want to rely on left click, and you always want to close the gap with the enemies enough so that you can use the left click. You never want to rely on the right click to kill the enemies. Now, like, if you're already playing elbow passively, and you notice that enemies are not smoking, not flashing the elbow, like, this off angle is really nice to take some easy kills. Like, I very rarely see players have a good off angle, good crosshair placement for this angle. I don't know, people just, you know, are very lazy at clearing this position. They just do this. They never have a crosshair placement for that. Not never, but 80 or 90% of the times they're just gonna do this. Idiots. Easy kills. And going for a repeat here was absolutely fine because, you know, we have a dash ability. We can try to get one more kill, get the fuck out. 2 enemies are flashed, like, muy bien, muy bien. Just here, not activating the dash ability again to engage the enemies, like, you know, another problem. Same problem again. We almost lost that round, bro. That is another very important tip for this elo. In this elo, every time when you're not alive is the time where you pray to every saint to win the round. Like, even if you're 5v1, you cannot risk losing your life. You need to play smart, close out the round yourself, play on a refrag potential. Because if you die, even if your teammates are 4v1, but there is a huge chance in gold elo that your teammates are going to lose that round.
Yeah, they can.
He has an op.
They're so skibbities.
Lock inside.
Listen here.
You know, from the front.
When enemy Q has the ultimate, and you're playing Jett, you cannot use ultimate as a main weapon. I avoid doing that. Because, I mean, if he uses the ultimate, and if he's pushing your site, you're fucked. Like, basically, in Valorant, another thing that you should be tracking to read the enemies on both attackers and defender side is the ultimate status of your teammates and ultimate status of the enemies as well. Like, a lot of times I make the right game decision just based on the ultimate abilities. Here, playing on B set and market, good game decision. B set is our default site, market as well. And also in the last round, we finally fucked up the enemy's push on A. So we can use the rule of fear and somewhat predict that enemies are going to go B. So playing B was a good idea. Second thing is like, but mistake here was like, you know, buying the gun for your teammates and playing like ultimate. I mean, it's a huge gamble, essentially. I wouldn't buy the, especially because your teammates are mentally dented, you know, in this elo and lobby. Like, there's no way I would have bought a gun for my allies here. They have a KO ultimate, like if they use the ultimate during the push, we're fucked.
He has an op.
They're so skibbities.
Okay.
I Omen, you all offside.
When it comes to like your mechanical skill, like we talked about that previously. And you already have a training for that. As I said, like on Sunset, as soon as you notice that that you cannot stop the enemy's push and you cannot like contest the enemies from the bomb sides, like your off angles are not working and passive gameplay is not working, you need to start aggressing the enemies together with your teammates or alone in the B main and A main area of the map. Like there's a lot of setups, a lot of strategies. Like you know, in this round, I would completely ignore the market if my chamber is already going for the aggressive play here. Like we see at the start of the round, he's looking towards the barrier. Like based on his body posture, I know he's gonna go for the aggressive play. Plus he has a teleport here. Like let's bait for the chamber. Sell this position for him. Maybe get a kill, and now chamber can get like maybe 1, 2, 3, you know, easy kills. Like those are also the opportunities that you need to observe. Not only how to counter the enemies and what you can do to fuck up the enemies, but also how you can use your teammates to fuck up the enemies. Like a lot of the times, like I'm not the one that makes a good play. My teammates already basically. A lot of the times, I don't even tell my teammates to go for some kind of a play. I just make a good play out of a situation that I'm in at that moment of time. But for you to be able to do that, like you really need to, you know, expand your game knowledge by 100 compared to yours right now. Compared to what you have right now.
Yeah, they can.
He has an op.
But also the chamber really didn't need to peek this. Like that was one of the main mistakes here. Like if chamber just played passively behind that box and waited for us, that would be, I mean, we could have baited for him.
They're so skibbities.
But they also did a Molotov there. That's a good play. I mean, why would he play on the right side if he has a teleport for the left side? Like fucking gold platinum players. Okay. Okay, on the attacker side, I think we covered, you know, all of the questions that you had for me. After this VOD review, I'm gonna send you some private coaching videos that are gonna help you with understanding a bit better how to read the enemies, how to play with different type of teammates, and that are gonna answer on all of the questions that you had at the start of this VOD review. Keep doing the training that I've originally shared with you. You can continue doing that training for like 2 more months easily. And during the episode 9, Act 1, if you play 120 games, I think that you can easily be high diamond or low ascendant. Like there is a chance that you get the first green icon because you got all the way up to platinum 1 with only 175 hours. If you really if you really use summer for some hard grind, or God forbid you play like 120 hours during summer, like ascendant 1 is guaranteed. Essentially. Plus, if you focus on fixing all of the problems and if you focus on the training that I've shared with you. Other than that, there is really nothing else to talk about here. Like, this is our second VOD review for this guy. Things are looking good. You're improving, getting better. You know, a lot of the problems that you previously had, they're not present in your gameplay that much, but you have some different problems now. But things are looking better. Okay, thank you for watching. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave some kind of comment, you know. Join the Discord server for private coaching or to enter the giveaways for some free VOD reviews or, you know, Valorant points, Battle Pass, stuff like that. And I will see you guys tricksters and tricksetters in the next VOD review. Or next video. Or next gameplay series. Or next something, I don't know. Also, join my live streams at twitch.tv/charlatan. I stream every single day, Monday to Friday. Not really every day, but, And, yeah. Fighting in the Radiant Mental Asylum.